Hey everybody, what's up? And welcome to another episode of DDTS, episode 606. I think we're on 606. I'm back with another video for y'all today. This video is gonna be titled "Let's Talk About It." You can see that in the background, titled "Let's Talk About It." This video came upon when I was having a conversation with a friend earlier today, one of my greatest friends, and it basically gave me the idea to do this video. Now, this video is for entertainment purposes only, and this is a true story. It's going to be like a story time, but then again, it's going to be like a realization, like real life issues type of thing that I'm going to discuss. And that's why I put "Let's Talk About It." And I'm so excited to be doing this video. Now, before we start, if you haven't, hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and even share if you haven't. And you will get all my newest content on here on DDTS. Now, before I get started, I just want you all to know, I may lose some subscribers. I may lose some viewers. I don't know if I'm going to lose any friends or not in YouTube or outside of YouTube for this video, but I feel like this video that I'm making, that I want to talk about today, is basically very important to me. I know a lot of people's probably talked about this, but I'm going to talk about it. Even hell, I'm going to express some things myself about my own self that is a true story, if I may. So I'm just going to basically be honest about the whole idea. So, the title of this video is going to be called "Let's Talk About It: Why Some Black Men Hate Black Women and More." I really feel like this is a topic that I really wanted to cover. And like I said, I'm going to say something about myself as well. I'm not going to disrespect anybody. I'm not going to call anybody out. I'm just basically going to give you my opinion and what I think why some black men in our community be disrespecting black women. Why some black men be saying, "Oh, I don't want a black woman. I don't want a black woman too much. They do too much. They do too this. I don't like black women." Because you do have some black men that is like that. That feel like black women are the most terrible things on the planet, which is not true. Because there are some black men and there are some non-black men and some black men and non-black women in other communities that admire black women, etc., etc. But I can't wait to talk about this topic. I don't know how to start this off, but like I said, this is for entertainment purposes only, and this is not meant to hurt anyone at any given time. Now, if you feel some type of way as I go on in this video, you are more than welcome to click off, unsubscribe, or do what you gotta do. But I'm basically going to give my perspective on this. I know there are plenty of things that I could be talking about that is trending, like there may not be no food stamps next month, or let's talk about the basketball players in the NBA that has been arrested for fraud and everything, and if I got that correct. Let's talk about the ending of Section 8, the ending of government benefits, the ending of food stamps, EBT. There may not be no Thanksgiving, there may not be no Christmas, and a lot of people's, it's going to be very sad because what about the kids that are starving? What about that's the only thing that the kids had to rely on was the food stamps to get food, to have everything that there is to have? Because there are hungry peoples out here and everything is just leaving and all this and then the third. I don't agree with it. But it's just a sad situation. I'm going to say this. It's a lot of peoples that I know in my heart that I associate with that voted for that individual. And I know it is some peoples that voted for that individual and is complaining this and that and the third. There's no need to complain now. It's already been done. But I'm saying, I think it's cruel that if EBT is not coming next month, what about the kids? What about those that only had that to rely on for their children? It's a sad situation. Like I said, it's plenty of things that I could have been talking about that is trending, but I just want to talk about this. This is my channel. I do my own content, what I want to talk about. And maybe if anybody want to watch this, you are more than welcome to watch. But I'm going to try to keep it respectful, but also I'm going to keep it real 100 with y'all. I'm not going to tell y'all no lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I'm just going to tell it like it is. Now, if y'all feel like I went a little overboard, I'm just going to be honest. But I just want to say this before I start. I love my community. I love my black and brown community. I love my LGBTQ community. I love everyone that loves me. So let's go ahead and get into this video right after this disclaimer. Hey y'all, I'm back with DDTS. Y'all just saw my disclaimer. I'm gonna try to do videos first, a little my intro first, since I'm not able to find no intro music right now. Then I will put my own disclaimer. And then we're gonna get started with this video. Which is why, oh Lord, I'm out of breath. This is what we are doing today. We're finna go ahead and get started with this video on this wonderful Friday. And it is October the 24th, 2025. So let's get to it. Now, the first reason why I think that it is some black men, I said some, not all, some. When I mean by some, I mean some admire black women, they treasure the ground they walk on. They think they are the most beautiful women in the world, which I do, because number one, I was birthed by a black woman. I admire all black women of this world and universe because my late mother, my late mama, was a queen. She was a powerful queen. She was my prince. She was my everything. And if I may, I'm going to put a picture up of my lovely mother. She was my everything. When I think of a strong black woman. When I think of strong black women, I think of my mama. I think of black women that have went through so much, that have dealt with so much, that had a history of going through a lot of heartfelt things throughout history, throughout decades, throughout time. When I think of a strong black woman, I think of a strong black woman that had to go through so much to get to where she is to this very day. When I think of a strong black woman, I think of a strong black woman that had to work, that had to raise their kids by herself. A single woman, a black woman, had to raise her kids by herself, making sure that they have everything that they need to survive and everything. Clothes on their backs, food on their tables, and everything. Let me just be quite frank with y'all. I'm finna be quite frank with y'all. I'm not being funny or messy. I'm being real. This is for some black men that don't like black women. My opinion. Now, there are some black men that admire black women. I said that. But there are some black men that look at black women as the enemy, as the problem, as the issue. And I truly don't understand. Hold on, y'all. I'm back, y'all. Like what I was saying. I don't understand why there are some black men that see black women as the issue, as the problem, as the enemy, or I don't know. I don't understand that. I didn't understand for a while, but now I do now. And this is just my opinion, and I'm about to give it, if I may. If I may give it. I had to take off my glasses so y'all can see my eyes. So y'all can see my eyes. But this is just my opinion, okay? This is just my opinion. One of the reasons why I say why some black men don't like black women is because black queens, black women are different from back in the day. Now, you had some black women back in the times, back in the old times, back in the old school times, pretty much. They're pretty much done what their men, their black men, their husbands told them to do. If they told them to cook, they cooked. If they told them to wash their clothes, they washed their clothes. If they told them to do this and do that, they did this and did that. But these are the same black women that took abuse from these black men. That took abuse from these black men that's basically told these women to do this and do that. And you have these women from back in the day that too much didn't raise their voice up to their husbands, to these men, that basically just let their men do them in a type of way. Go out there and cheat on them, go out there, put their hands on them, do what they do. Because they knew, these men knew in their mind that they weren't going to do anything. Because they knew better. Because they feel like, I'm the man. You're going to obey me. Do as I say. Pretty much. Now, let's fast forward to today's society when it comes to black women and when it comes to some black men. Now, you got some black women out here that loves the disrespect by the black men. You got a lot of black women out here that love being disrespected by their black men. Because you know why? Some of these women feel when they getting disrespected by their men, the black men, they don't want to let go because they don't want to be alone. That's the only love that they know. That's the only definition of love that these women know, these black women know, is love. They don't want to face the fact of being alone. They don't want to face the fact of being left. Now you got a lot of black women that will put up with so much disrespect from their own. It's not even funny. Now you got the ones in today's society that is keeping up with these black men, that is standing up with them toe to toe. It's a lot of black women in today's society, in today's world, that's like, you is not going to be disrespecting me. I'm not going to put up with this. So what you going to do? So these black men, some of these black men, they like, I don't want no black woman. You know why some of these black men say they don't want no black woman? I'm going to tell you why they say they don't want no black woman. It's because in today's society, these black women, these black queens, is not going to put up with their bullshit. They're not going to put up with their bullshit, their lies, the disrespect, the putting their hands on them. They ain't going to do it. Because what's going to happen? The same way these black men has treated black women with disrespect over the years, the women is coming back to them with that same mentality. Oh, you want to disrespect me? Oh, I can carry that same energy that you have given me. I'm tired of your disrespect. I'm tired of you not appreciating me. So it is whatever. You think you're going to put your hands on me? Not going to happen. I got you. That's why some black men say, a lot of black men say, some black men say, I can't be with no black woman. Because they took me through there. They basically, what a black man is trying to say, he can't be with no black woman. He can't be with a sister. He can't be with nobody of his own community, because you know why he said that? He say that because, hey, a lot of these black men feel that they are masculine. They feel like these black women are masculine. No, they're not masculine. It's called enough with the bull mess, enough with the bullshit. I'm not putting up with it no more. So either you gonna get right, or that's it. I'll go over to find somebody else that's gonna put up with it, because I'm not. Because I'm basically putting up with what you putting down. Like, I'm basically gonna match your energy. If I'm correct, I might be wrong, but that's just how I see it. So, you know, with that being said, when a black man of our community feel like they can control a black woman or do anything with them, because they realize they're going to stand toe-to-toe with them. When they feel like they can't get their way, so you know what? You know what a black man going to do? A black man is going to go to someone that is not of our community. They're going to go to someone that is not of our community. Basically, show them much love and affection, respect and everything, than the black woman, than the black queen, which I don't understand, because how can you say how can some of these men say they don't like black women? They'll talk down on black women so much when basically you was birthed by a black woman. When basically it was a black woman that gave you life. Basically it was a black woman all your life till you got at the age of getting old enough to do for yourself that held you down. Because this is just my opinion. Ain't nobody gonna hold you down like a black woman, like a black queen. Now that's just my opinion. Y'all don't have to agree with me. Y'all might be saying, oh my goodness, what is he talking about? This real. But back what I was saying, you got some of these black men, they feel like they can't control a black woman, they can't do nothing with them because pretty much, basically, a black man, a man in general, don't want no woman that outpowers him. I think men can't stand women that has as much power as him. And I think men can't stand women that matches their energy. A man don't want no woman that can match their energy, they can stand up to him. Half of these men want women that's weak-minded, that's gonna be telling them to stop hitting me, stop this, stop it, you're hurting me, stop it, you're hurting. You know, a lot. That's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. Cause you know, a lot of men, they want a woman that they can use as a punching bag, basically dog out. And you do have women that's like that. But when some black men feel like they can't do what they want to do to a black woman, they go to another woman that's not of our community. Treat them with respect and everything. Don't talk bad about them or nothing. Have kids by them and everything. But when it comes to a black woman in these day and age, the black woman has gotten the most disrespect, the most neglect, and so much more, in my opinion. Now, that's just how I see it. Now, another thing. Another thing that I have been seeing and that I've heard so many people say. Of the black community, the black men of the community, some of them, not liking dark-skinned black women. Because if you ever notice, you don't see too many black men these days being with too many black dark-skinned women. And it's sad. I could be wrong. But it's sad. But also, I noticed this because I've watched a video and I've heard somebody say this like, I don't know how many times. When they tell someone or when they say this out loud, I don't want no dark skin baby. I want a mixed baby. I want a mixed baby. I want a mixed baby with pretty eyes and pretty hair and this and that and the third. I want a mixed baby. I don't want no dark skinned baby. I don't even want no dark skinned girl. I don't even want that. Okay, first and foremost, when I've heard that, and when I heard this on a video that I watched a while back, basically the person that said this was a dark-skinned man, a dark-skinned person, a dark-skinned dude said this. He said, allegedly, He does not want no dark-skinned kids. He don't even want no dark-skinned woman. He wants mixed kids. Why? Because in his mind, he thinks that his mixed kids gonna be pretty. His mixed kids gonna be beautiful. This and that and the third, with the curly hair, with the pretty eyes. Well, let me tell you something, because I'm not gonna bring no kids into this. Let me tell you something. I don't care how many biracial peoples you get with. No tea, no shade. I don't care how many biracial peoples you get with. A lot of peoples have it in their minds that all biracial peoples are God's green earth, are very stunning, are very beautiful. Now, honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. You do have some that is very, 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 very amazing, very stunning, very beautiful. But then you have some, they're decent, but then they're not decent. I said peoples. I didn't say anything below that. I'm just being honest. So this the thing. What makes you think that when you say, I don't want dark-skinned babies, I don't even want a dark-skinned woman, I want mixed babies, I want me a mixed baby. What is that? What are you trying to prove? Are you trying to prove that mixed kids are better than dark-skinned kids? Regardless of the fact, number one, for this person to be dark-skinned and to say this to another individual that's black, and you dark-skinned yourself, basically you have insecurities. You have very bad insecurities. You have bad insecurities. You have bad judgment. And you basically saying that you do not like yourself. You dislike yourself because you are dark-skinned. But there's nothing to be ashamed of. And I'm going to come back to that because I'm going to share a little story of my own, which is true. Because at the end of the day, whether you are light-skinned, dark-skinned, this and that and the third, you are still a black person. Whether you are biracial, this is my opinion, whether you are biracial, you are still black. You have black ancestry in you. But you know what gets me? When people say they want mixed babies, mixed babies, mixed babies, okay, you have your child who is biracial, who's mixed with black and white, or whenever. What if you, the parent, witness your biracial child, whether it's a boy or a girl, getting older? What are you going to say when your biracial child, for example, gets with a black woman or gets with a black man? Not just to prove a point, but to be with that person because they love that person, because of who they are, the skin that they're in, the history. And they have a child together. What are you, the person that said, oh, I don't want no dark-skinned baby. I don't want no dark-skinned baby. I want a mixed baby. What would happen? What would you do if your biracial child has another child by a black person who happens to be dark-skinned? Say, for instance, if the mama is dark-skinned and the other person is biracial, what would you do, the person that said, I don't want no dark-skinned kids, I want mixed babies? What would you do if your grandchild came out as dark skinned as you. The person that said, quote unquote, I don't want no dark skinned babies. I don't even want no dark skinned woman. I want mixed babies. What would you do, quote unquote, person that said, I don't want mixed baby, I don't want dark skinned kids, I want mixed kids? What would you do if your grandchild turned out dark skinned like you? What would you do? Would you accept that child? Would you accept your grandchild? Or better yet, would you have insecurities all over again? What would you do? Because a lot of people don't look at this. And I feel like, although I'm not biracial, I'm full African American. I'm full African American. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. I'm trying to put it in a way where I can say it very respectful. When you have biracial kids, or if you are a biracial person, if you have biracial kids, I do realize it's very difficult. It's very difficult for them, although I made a couple of videos on this. Although it's very difficult for biracial peoples, men and women who's mixed with white and black. They feel like they have to choose a side. But what would you do? What would you do, for example? What would you do if a person who is biracial chooses one side and chooses to adapt one side, then they do the other? But I'm not going to be, listen, y'all. Y'all might try to drag me. I'm not biased, but when I see a person, when I think of a person that is biracial, that is mixed with white and black, I see a biracial person as a human being. I see them as a loving person. But also, I really feel in my heart, in my mind, in my opinion, I really feel like they can be on which side that they want to be on. But I really feel like if you are a biracial person, or, down the line, I really feel like if you have to adapt one side, I really feel like you should adapt one side that basically stands out more to you, that basically is more meaningful. And with that being said, I will say the black side. Because in my opinion, if you are biracial, and if any of y'all have biracial peoples in your family or kids, this and that and the third, no tea, no shade. If I had to, this is my opinion, I feel like if you want your child to learn about history, make sure that they learn about both sides of history, the black history and the other history. But in my opinion, the one side that I feel like that's important is the black history of their side of their history. Because you never know. The person who is biracial, they might be related to someone on the black side of history that basically had history with someone that was, in another community that they're mixed with, pretty much. I'm not trying to confuse y'all, but if you know, you know. I feel like as a biracial, as a I'm not biracial, but I feel like biracial peoples need to learn both sides of the story and history. They should learn both sides. They should be able to adapt which side that they want to adapt to, but also learn both sides of the history because you never know. And I know a lot of biracial peoples that have adapted to their black side more than the other side because not only have they adapted to their black side more, but they are learning more history about what it's like to be a black individual, to be a black woman, to be a black man, to learn the history, what black men and black women in their history and ancestry had to go through. They might even find out when they're learning about their black history that someone on the other side of history used to own somebody of their black side of history. That's why I say, as a person that is doing this video, why I feel like it's important for biracial peoples to learn both sides of history. I'm not using this for peoples to go against each other. I'm not doing this video to raise a debate. I'm just basically saying biracial peoples, in my opinion, not only if they are mixed, not only are they biracial, but in my opinion, they are black. Not other, but black. Because you know why? Because I'm going to tell you, I don't care if you are black and light skinned. These individuals, in their eyes, you still gonna be, and you still gonna be that interrogatory term that as us as black peoples and as the ancestors was called all those years ago. Where that name still going hard today. In case y'all don't know, that name, that word carries so much history. It's not even funny. And it's being used more today than anything. A lot of people is making that word resurface with the hard ER. If you know, you know. I don't care how light skinned you think you are. Them peoples don't care. The peoples don't care how light skinned you are. They don't care if you mix with black and white. They don't care if you're biracial. To them, you're going to always be the derogatory term with us as dark-skinned black people's ears. You always going to be to them that term, that horrible term that I was not called, but pretty much I was called one, but they spelled it backwards. If you know, you know. I don't care how light you think you are, you still going to be a term to some of them peoples. You still going to be that to those peoples. And there's not going to be anything you can do about it. So, you know, it doesn't matter. Because, see, I'm dark-skinned. And I wouldn't trade that for the world. Because it's so much history behind me being a black person. Behind me being a black man. And I just don't understand how some black men can take their frustrations out on some black women to the point where they feel like they're not appreciated. They will go out here and appreciate someone that's not of our community, treat them like gold. But the ones that they go out here treating like gold that's not part of our community, those are the ones that pretty much just want to wipe them out, clean them out, make them look like the bad person. Not all, but some. You better ask Jonathan Majors what happened. And I'm hoping that I'm not confusing y'all with this. If so, I am so sorry. But we are talking about this. I might have my words twisted up, but I mean what I say and say what I mean. It does not matter how many friends you have. It does not matter this and that and the third. To a lot of people, you still gonna be who you were born to be. Not the term, but a black man, a black woman. I feel like I'm missing a lot, but I feel like I'm getting a lot in. Hold on, y'all. But if you know, you know. Now, let me go ahead and tell y'all a little story about me. As you may know, I'm a black man. As you may know, I'm a gay black man. I'm part of the black community and the gay community. But I'm finna tell y'all a little story. I think I had came out to my friends, to my family, that I was a gay man. And after that, I was free. I was free. I got a lot of that off my shoulders. It was a big relief. So at that time, I was getting on Tinder. I was getting on Grindr at the time. I was getting on any dating app that I could find that was popular at that time. This was before Facebook dating had came about. Yes, I was on every dating app because, hey, at that time I was still in my 20s, my middle 20s. I was just trying to have some super adult fun time. If you know, you know. I was trying to have some fun. I didn't care about nothing. I wasn't looking at the red flags. I wasn't looking at nothing. I was trying to have some fun because I was still learning now. But also, what I didn't know, which a lot of people's I want to tell now, you think being gay is all fun and games, but honestly, it is not all fun and games because it's a serious subject. It's a serious thing. You think that it's easy being a black man who is part of the black community and the gay community? It is not. It is very hard. And I feel like that is a obstacle that we are still fighting with today. Just like transgender women of color, black and brown women of color, an obstacle, challenging. So as I was, I was scrolling, I created my profile and everything, and I was just scrolling, I was looking at people's profiles, I was reading them and everything, and I came across, I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie, I came across some beautiful and gorgeous black kings, dark skin, light skin, caramel skin, black men in general, but the dark skin, very beautiful. Just like me, very gorgeous. To me, all black men are beautiful, regardless of the fact. It doesn't matter. So I was just scrolling and I was reading the profiles and everything. And I said, you know what? Well, let me click on it because the profile seemed so good and everything. And I matched with one of the guys that I liked on the app. I think it was Tinder or Taymai. It was one of them. So hold on. Okay. So when we matched, I spoke first. I said, "Hey, how you doing? I'm DeAndre." They was like, "What's up? How you doing?" I'm like, "I'm good." And they asked me what I'm looking for, and I told them, I said, "I'm looking for friends, chatting, networking, or whatever it may lead to." And then it's like, "Oh, okay, I'm just looking for a hookup." So I'm like, "Okay, that's cool with me," because at that time I was just trying to have some super adult fun time. I didn't care about nothing else. I was still learning. And at that point of time, I'm happy that I know a lot now than I did back then. Because I had family members trying to tell me I should be careful, this and that and the third. Don't give everybody your address and this and that and the third. Don't do that because that ain't safe. You ain't thinking about nobody. You just thinking about yourself. That went in one ear and not the other. Because at the time, I didn't know. I was old enough, but at the time, I realized that they were just trying to help me. That they were just trying to tell me. So back to the story. So after I told a person, this wonderful black man of my community, what I was looking for, they asked me to send some pictures of my face and stuff. So I sent them face pictures to see what I look like, even though they could see it on my profile. So I sent the pictures for them so I can prove to them that I am who I say I am. So when I did that, they looked at me, they were like, oh, wow, nice, cute, but you're not what I'm looking for. I want somebody that's a little lighter. I want somebody that's more, more than me, pretty much. And it made me, I questioned myself, and I was like, I questioned him. I was like, what the what? Why? Did I do something wrong? I can't help the way I look. I can't help that I can't help that I'm a dark-skinned man. I can't help that I'm handsome and a dark-skinned man. I can't help that. I can't help and I can't change that I was born a dark-skinned man. Because my mama gave birth to me and everything. She helped bring me into this world. God made me a black man. And that's all that matters. And I'm like, what did I do? And then he told me, he was like, it's nothing you did. I just like other men of the other community. No shame, no offense to you. I'm like, oh wow, so I'm not your type. I'm not a part of the right community, pretty much. And the thing that got me was, why match with me? Why match with me if you knew I was not what you wanted or who you wanted to match with? Like, why would you do that? What did you think I was going to do? What did you expect from me, So, crossed him off the list. Another black man that I matched with, matched, conversated. But this experience was a little bit different and a little bit better than the first experience I had. So I thought. So we got to knowing each other and messaging and having a conversation. We waited a week about exchanging phone numbers because I was an Android person then. This was before I moved to iPhone. So, we waited a week till we got each other phones. So when we was going back and forth on the app, conversating and messaging and this and then the third, getting to know each other, soon as we exchanged phone numbers, it was like I seen a difference. Like I was not getting the messages as I was on the dating app. I was getting tons and tons of messages on the app. But when it came to the phone number that we agreed to exchange with each other, I wasn't getting that many messages. And then after that, I just started getting ghosts. The messages on the phone just started becoming lesser and lesser and lesser. So boom, I was not getting them anymore. So basically, I got ghosted. which I didn't know what ghosted was back then, but I got ghosted. And the third time, same thing, ghosted. So what did I do? This is a true story, y'all. So what did I do? Let me tell y'all something. I never once gave up on my community. I never once did say that I didn't like black peoples, that I didn't like black women, that I didn't like black men. Because why would I say that when I'm a part of that community, when I come from a legacy of black men, when a black woman, a black queen, a nice dark-skinned woman brought me into this world, which I admire to this very day, forever and ever and ever. I never once said I did not like this person, that person. I always stayed connected with my community. I always stayed behind my black community. But when it came to me getting on the dating apps, trying to, find some super fun adult time. And when it came for me to basically see what I can find look. So I questioned myself. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Is I'm ugly? Is I'm too dark? Is I'm ugly? Is I'm not light enough? Is I'm not big enough? Is I'm not skinny enough? Like, what's wrong with me? It was my own community. It was the own men of my black community that I felt betrayed by. Because I thought, and I still do to this very day, like I said, I never gave up on my community, especially not the men, especially not the women of my community, because I come from a legacy of black men and a legacy of black women. But I felt so betrayed by the men of my community. I felt like the black men of my community being betrayed by them, being ghosted by them, being rejected by them, that made me feel like they didn't like me. It made me feel like black men didn't see me as me. They didn't like me. It made me feel like I'm not good enough. So when I started getting on the dating apps and scrolling, reading on people's profiles, I pretty much I bagged off. I bagged off the the men of my community. I bagged off. I gave them a break because I couldn't stomach the thought of getting rejected again. So honestly, I felt like if I experienced and examined a little bit more of other communities, what would it be like? So I done that. Same thing happened. It was worse and worse and worse. They always said, oh, where I'm from, we don't date black men. We don't accept that. We don't do this and do that. So pretty much I'm still at a lost cause. I'm still back at the beginning. I'm back on the drawboard. So talking about this is very heartbreaking, I will be right back. I'm back, y'all. So let me finish telling you. So when I tell you After the experience that I had with my own community, the black community, the black men of my community, I tried every other parts of different communities. White, black, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, Korean, you name it around the world. Desi, Indian, you know it. Nigerians, I went around the world. Not basically, but those experience was like, have you eaten yet? What time is it there? Hello, dear. What time is it there? Have you eaten yet? If you love me, you'll send me a gift card. Those were the types that, the types of things that I've encountered. Half of those experiences, it was like a fantasy. Because, basically peoples will hear stereotypes and they'll be like this and that and the third. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll be there for us till it's time to actually be there for us. You know. Because basically to a lot of peoples, we are nothing but fantasy. We're nothing but a fetish. That's what we truly are to a bunch of other peoples. If I'm saying that correctly, but that's just how I see it. So this was a true story. Basically, what I'm saying is, there are a lot of black men, some black men, they can't stand the naturalness of a black woman. They can't stand the definition of someone that has held them up. Basically, will have their back. But then you have some that will go over to the other side and be friendly to them, treat them with respect. And these are mainly majority of the sports entertainment peoples. Like peoples that are in football, NBA, NFL, this and that and the third. They don't marry the queens. They marry outside of the community. And the ones that they marry outside of the community, if you know, be the main ones that take them for everything they got. And they will blame them. The peoples of the other community will blame the black man for whatever goes wrong with them. You better ask Jonathan Majors what happens when you continuously mess with someone that is not part of the community. You better ask Jonathan Majors. He messed around and found out real quick. But then he came back to his senses and got Megan good. Same with me. After those experiences that I've had, I realized, I came back to realization. I said, let me give it another try with my community. So I did, and everything worked out perfectly. I matched with someone who was black, of my community, the Black community and the LGBTQ community. Until this very day, we are wonderful friends. We tried to date, be in a relationship, but we came to realization that, we were better as friends, even when we tried off and on. When it wasn't just for us, it wasn't just for us. We tried, but it wasn't for us. We just decided to remain as friends. We still have conversations to this very day. We've had our ups and our downs, but at the end of the day, I'm just so happy that we involved that friendship. And at the end of the day, I'm so proud to be a Black man. I'm proud to be a Black gay man. I'm proud to be a part of the Black community, the LGBTQ community. I'm proud to come from a legacy of Black men and Black women, and I'm proud to be a dark-skinned man, and I wouldn't change that for the world. And that's my story, and that's how I feel. That's why I feel that some Black men don't like Black women, because they feel like they can't handle them. They are too much for them. They feel like all a Black woman is for is from taking from them, getting what they can out of them, or this and that and the third, or they're not putting up with them. That's the thing. A Black woman these days is not going to put up with all that mess. They're not going to put up with that bullshit. Now, for the peoples that is watching this video that are in interracial relationships, I truly respect each and every one of y'all. I respect y'all. No tea, no shade. Don't take it to heart. I'm just being honest with how I feel. But at the end of the day, I really feel that Black women deserves all the love, all the attention, all the affection, all what it is like to be a Black woman. Because Black women, in my opinion, has been through the worst, has been through the most, and has experienced a lot within our community. So yeah, y'all, what do y'all think of my video? Is I'm right? Is I'm wrong? But that would be the end of. So there will be my video. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you guys think. And that will be my video of Let's Talk About It. Like, comment, and subscribe. Put it in the comments. I apologize in advance if I seemed kind of off or I was offbeat, and if I was very disrespectful or offensive, I apologize. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Thank you, and I love you all. Bye-bye.